Thanks so much for being a part of our video today. We're on our second day of Deuteronomy. Rudy, thank you for taking your day off to be here and giving us your insights.
It's really my pleasure.
It is my pleasure to be here with you. We're going to do a You Are Here. When you go to a building and you don't know where you are, we're going to try to show you where you are. I've got a bigger map coming, but it did not show up in my mailbox yesterday. So Rudy's going to pull up a little smaller one. Where are we, Rudy?
In my opinion, we're right in
Hold
here.
it up close.
We're right in here. We're on the borders of modern-day Jordan.
Okay, modern-day Jordan. We're on the border, and Moses is recounting for the people. This is what I'm doing with you, right?
Correct.
And this is a second witness. So you have two witnesses. Rudy, one day we're going to get you to talk just completely about two witnesses, but as he's recounting what he has done, he talks about the setting up of leadership. So let me read it and then get Rudy to talk, all right? Verse 9, chapter 1. At that time I said to you, I am unable to bear you by myself. And, you know, I would hate to be in charge of 1.5 million or 2 million people by myself. Pastoring a church of 300 or 400 is a big enough job.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
So that's a pretty big understatement. The Lord has multiplied you so that today you're as numerous as the stars of heaven. May the Lord, the God of your ancestors, increase you 1,000 times more and bless you as he's promised you. But how can I bear the heavy burden of the disputes all by myself? As somebody who's tried to mediate a few disputes in my day, I can't imagine doing that big of a crowd. So choose for each of your tribes individuals who are wise, discerning, and reputable to be your leaders. And you answered me, the plan you have proposed is a good one. So I took leaders of your tribes, wise and reputable individuals, and installed them as leaders. Commanders of thousands, commanders of hundreds, commanders of 50s, commanders of 10s, and officials throughout your tribes. You want to stop for a second? Let you comment?
No,
Keep reading?
Yeah.
All right, keep reading. I charged your judges at that time, give the members of your community a fair hearing and judge rightly between one person and another, whether citizen or resident alien. You must not be partial in judging. Hear out the small and the great alike. You shall not be intimidated by anyone, for the judgment is God's. In any case, it's too hard for you, bring it to me, I'll hear it. So I charge you at that time the things that you should do.
Right, and basically this is setting up the judicial system for Israel. And it goes back to Moses' father-in-law coming.
Jethro?
Yeah, Jethro.
Rudy's going to correct my pronunciation.
Yeah, there's no J's in Hebrew. Anyway, Jethro tells Moses, it's like, this, you're going to wear yourself out. This is too much for you. But the thing is, Moses' father-in-law was a leader of his country. He's not speaking from something he doesn't know.
Right.
And the Bible, when you read it in Exodus, infers that this idea came from God.
Right.
So what it set up originally was the 70 elders, which is a number that God picked to be part of his vocabulary as he was teaching Israel the law. Basically, the word that we use to translate law back into Hebrew, or really the word in Hebrew for law is Torah. We definitely have lost some of what it means. It's really, its meaning is more instruction rather than law. So when we think about Moses giving part of his authority for other people to judge, it was so that the people would be instructed. And I don't think that this can be set aside, that Jesus actually picked 70 disciples to spread his teaching.
Right.
So there's a connection here 70, if you take the 0 away from it, becomes a 7, which is the creation story sum.
Right, correct. So just hold on that. I'm going to be the practical application of some of this today. Thank you, sir. At Maywood Baptist Church, Coach Jake Taylor emphasizes almost every Sunday, and certainly in every one of his meetings, that he is not the one who runs the whole show. That there needs to be spread out throughout the church. Every person is a minister, every person has a role, every person has a gift. And that's a picture that comes somewhat out of this.
Correct.
And one person cannot do it all. Can we move to the next section, and let's hammer this a minute, about give the members a fair hearing. So you're supposed to judge rightly between citizens and what they call resident aliens. We call them today immigrants, people who have immigrated to our country.
It's important that God is interested in every single human being, and he doesn't really miss too many times not making us aware of that.
Over and over. So true. And a society that worships God loves people.
Has to.
Right. So if I say I love my brother, or I love God but I hate my brother, James tells me, wrong deal, pal.
Yes.
Right. Okay. And so you're not to be partial. You're not to differentiate between the small and the great, because judgment belongs to God.
Right. And so, even though you may decide that you would be able to decide that this would be more right than wrong, and in your decisions you side with one side or the other, the problem that's really going on is that we cannot see into the future, and we do not know what this person needs to know or what anybody that around him needs to know, which basically is kind of like the butterfly effect. So what a leader is supposed to do, he's supposed to pray about the decision and then speak out his answer from prayer.
Right. Correct. Right. So as I apply this to my life, I think about times when I do make differentiations in people. And this says to me, just what you said, Rudy, I need to look at the future and say, okay, God, what are you up to? What are you doing? And probably also forgive me for making my judgment, particularly between people that are easier to like versus people that aren't. You know, I need to work on that.
Everybody does, and the thing is that one of the things that this teaches you is it teaches you to hear God's voice.
Right.
And the more you hear it, the better you become at hearing it. And really, one of the things that it uncovers is truly that you never had a good idea that was yours. Every good idea was his, and you just took it and owned it.
Absolutely. And we'll stop at that. Thank you so much for being here. We'll be back tomorrow with more on Deuteronomy. Thank you, Rudy, for taking your day off to give us some great insight. God bless you. See you tomorrow.